Well, Bill, thank you for those charming exaggerations. And I'm full of thanks here tonight for allies whom I have known and depended on for years, and for all you allies I don't know. This is a great happening. The evening has produced, among other things in me, an all too familiar realization. Namely, that I flew up here to tell you, among other things, that if I was going to get here guilt-free, I would have had to walk.
We would have had to walk too.
This is a paradox we're all caught in, and it ought to give us an appropriate sense of complexity. Seems to me I've been, for 35 or 40 years, flying all over the country, telling people, in fact, that they ought to stay at home. That's a hard nut to crack. We're here being political, and we should be. We're in a great political tradition. And one of the great principles of it is that when the government defaults on its responsibilities, people have to take it up. And I'm for change, but I know that political changes, as complicated and difficult as they are, can happen fairly fast. But that this change we're all for, if it's going to happen, we'll have to get beyond politics and become economic. And that's going to be hard and slow and require a lot of patience and a lot more intelligence than we have at the moment. I'll remind you that economy means housekeeping. And if we ever have an economy worthy of our country, as to paraphrase my teacher Wallace Stegner, we're going to have to contrive an economic mosaic that fits the ecological mosaic. That is, we're going to have to start living according to standards imposed by local adaptation. A familiar biological requirement that for some reason we have never applied to ourselves. Now I want to tell a story, and then I'm going to read a poem. The story came to me from Loyal Jones of Berea, Kentucky, who's one of the dear people on this earth. According to Loyal, if a fellow in some parts of eastern Kentucky doesn't have his full complement of wits, he will be known as a widdy. One day this widdy was walking through town and he came upon this big hole, a huge, enormous hole. He leaned over the edge and looked at it, and there's this fellow down in the bottom of it, just digging away and throwing out the dirt. And the widdy hollered down to the digger at the bottom, "Hey, what's this hole for?" And the digger looked up at him and says, "This is where we're going to bury all the sons of bitches." The widdy leaned over and said, "Who's going to cover them up?" Text for our effort.
video.